Hi, welcome back. Welcome back. This is Yehudit Steinberg here, certified Zentangle teacher and creator of media content in the area of art, culture, and creativity. We are on day 10 of the Inktober Tangles 2022 challenge. And I want to thank all of you who have joined the challenge. And give me some comments below. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if the step outs are working for you. And if you have any questions. So what we're doing in this series is we have two parts. I have had requests for step outs. And so what we're doing on the first part of this lesson is we are learning and we are drawing the step out, because step outs are a great way to learn the tangle that we are studying. And a lot of these tangles are new for everybody. And I have to tell you that this is a new one for me as well. Today, we are going to be working on finery, and it's a really beautiful, exotic kind of pattern. And it seems to be a leaf pattern, although I think with your imagination, it can be many different abstract symbols and what have you. It's a really fun tangle, and we're going to get right into it. Now, a lot of you have already downloaded the beginner's guide, but if this is your first time watching my videos, I have a beginner's guide and daily email prompts for each of the Inktober Tangles, the 31 tangles that we're going to be doing. And the link is in the description below. And while you're looking at the description, if you want to keep getting notified by YouTube, then hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. It really helps me out, as well as I, put a lot of effort into getting these videos up for you. In the beginner's guide, you get the tangle step out, and you can follow along and draw the step out. And at the end of 31 days, you have a wonderful catalog of how to draw all of these in one place and not on the internet or on your phone. So let's get to it. Let's get to day 10 finery and start with a step out. And we're going to go over to the studio now, and we're going to grab your materials, your pens and your paper, and let's get started. So here we are in the studio, and this is the mandala that we're creating with 31 spaces and 31 tangles, and it's starting to really come together. I'm really excited about it, and I hope that you are excited about yours as well. So this is the step out we're going to do today. I think it's, it's pretty easy as we go step by step. I'm going to lead you through it. It will take a little bit longer than some of the other step outs that we've done. And that's all fine, because Zentangle is about a practice and the process more than it is about the end result. There's a lot of focus in putting this tangle together. So let's get started. Now I'm going to show you what I'm doing. You have the template, and you can, you're welcome to use that template. I have a system, and I'll probably be doing a separate video here as well after after we get through these video a day for Inktober, but I'm going to do a short video and show you how I organize my tangles. So this is a stencil that I ordered, and I will be all of those that have signed up for the beginner's guide. You'll get all this information in an email so that if you want to use this system, you will have it all. You just follow what I did. It was easy and simple to get it organized. So I'm going to use my pen to draw the stencil. And in the other videos, I had the stencil already drawn, but today I'm going to draw the stencil. And all right, because I ran out of stencils prepared, and I thought you might really like to see how easy it is to get the 6 spaces. And this was specially designed for one of the certified Zentangle instructors, and you can get these stencils on Etsy, and they're made specifically for Zentangle Step Outs. So I think that's pretty cool. There we go. There's the step out. So we grab our pens and get started. This we're going to start with our lines. We're going to put some lines in, and we're going to do that in our contrasting color. I'm using a Statler Tri Plus fine liner here. I'm using a hot pink, and typically it's done in red. So here we go. I like to get my lines in singular first. And you have to understand this is a small space, but we can get the idea, and we can get the step out done. Get more centered here. So I kind of do a pointy at one end, and I am creating an aura parallel line on each of these, starting with a point and ending with. Step 1. Step 2. We need to draw these lines again. Sometimes what I do also is I go through and draw all the lines first. So I don't have to do them again. And it keeps me in the flow, in the Zen flow of I don't have to think as much. And really, when I'm doing Zentangle patterns, I want to get to the point where I'm not thinking a whole lot. I want to put the thinking that rational mind is always dogging us. I want to give it a rest. That's why it's called Zentangle, to give us a few Zen moments, a few meditative moments. so we can just concentrate on one line at a time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put in some lines. And this is, imagine, this is, I think it really is from a leaf type pattern. And I'm giving them a little bit of a slant. Now on to step 3. Moving right along. I'm going to draw our lines again. We're going to put in these lines that we had in pink. And a slant. Slanting. We're going to skip a row. Ah, I see what I forgot to do. See, I didn't do that right at the beginning. And we need to have this parallel aura line here before we go any further to complete this pattern. Now I'm picking up my red pen. We're going to put lines. I'm going to take this line here and I'm going to move this down a little bit. And we're going to draw it over to where this other line is, a matchup. Same thing here. And what happens, I'm going to turn just a little bit so I can get that angle with my hand. And then we're going to come down and we're going to angle it in the opposite. Now, if you doing this pattern larger, you'll get to really see the difference. But for the step out, I think it works for the guide. But I would typically draw a larger pattern than this square, but not for the step out. And you can see here's the finished. This is, so it can be relatively small as well. I'll keep it right there so you see what we're doing. All right, so now we're going to go on to step 4. And we're going to draw our lines. And this time I'm going to do as I showed you the first time, which is to create the aura when I draw the line. So I don't forget. And then it's done. Okay, and now we're going to come and we're going to put in our lines. And I'm going to do them as I did the steps. And then we're joining them up. Okay. So now what we want to do is we're going to draw these little rectangular boxes, and they're going to, there's a little trick here to, because there is a perspective that gives you this three-dimensional look to it. So let's investigate that. So what I want to do is I want to draw a parallel to these lines. And this will be up to you in terms of how big you do make it. You can make it smaller. You could probably, you can round the corners. There's a lot that you could do with variations on the theme, but we're doing the one that's in the official step out for right now. It's kind of a little up there. We'll match it up. Now we're going to color them in. And then there's one more step. Okay, can you see how it's very it's interesting how it has a perspective starts to create. What I really like about drawing step outs is that I really get to focus on one line at a time, which helps me to slow down. But it also helps me to repeat the pattern so I get practice for the pattern. And by the time I'm finished with my step outs, I have a pretty good idea how to draw the pattern. Oops. Okay, now we're going to draw in our little boxes. I'm going to make these a little bit smaller, parallel to the side walls. Let's see how that looks. Then come here. So if you have questions, put them in the comments and I will answer them. If you want to get the templates and the beginner's guide that has everything, that has materials, links to the official Tangle Stephanie Jennifer and her group, and she created a booklet that has links to other step outs. The reason I decided that I wanted to do step outs was that I was getting tired of hunting around on my phone while I'm doing my Zen time. And so I would lose focus. I'd end up going into my Facebook, I bet, you know, or whatever social media, checking my email, you know. And so this, when I do my Zen time, I really don't want to be on my phone. And so what's going to happen is if you create your step outs, and I've shown you how, and you have a catalog, then you won't need to do that. You will be able to just, and that's what I do, I'm just able to take this little box that I have and put all my step outs neatly in here, and I can just use that for my guides. So everybody has their way of doing it. This is working out for me, and I wanted to share it with you. So now the one thing that we're going to add in this particular step out are these little embellishments. Okay, but I want to do one more thing on this step out, that and take the time to show you how I shade it. Because that makes a difference, quite a difference in this pattern. And I want you to be able to have that on your step out for your reference, for your future reference. Because believe me, after a while, you come back and look at, oops, not really get that parallel. I'm human, I'm not a machine. So if I wanted to have it perfect, then I would be using a digital format, because these days we can draw digitally. Actually, this is where I want to put. So it is a focus, it is a tangle that you want to stay focused, because it's easy to make, to get out of pattern. So if we do it methodically, let me turn it. Okay. Starting to take shape. I'm also have a Zentangle playlist. I'm not hooked up to have music in the background when we're just drawing. So I have a Spotify Zentangle playlist, and of course you might have your own taste in music, but I have a suggestion, and I used to be a DJ and have a radio show, and so I have quite an extensive taste in world music and ambient music, and a lot of people like what I choose. So you will have that opportunity that you can put that on in your background while you're listening to this video. And I will include that in the email to you. Let me see. I need to keep focusing here. So I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm going to do the shading on this one. And when we go to the mandala, I'm going to draw mine in. What I tend to do with the mandala is I draw in the my mandala, the pattern of the day, so you get to see that. And then I send you out to discover what some of the other artists are doing to get inspiration. That's how I get inspiration. And so the reason I call this channel Zen and Creativity, I want to also give you some food for thought and show you some ideas and some of the basics. And then part of creativity is going out and exploring and being curious about what other people are doing. So if you know, so I'm going to shade on the side, on one side of these lines, kind of a mythical shadow line, one side. Pick one side. And another thing is we don't usually put graphite on the black ink because it makes it shine. So that's a little trick. Okay, so I put a little bit of shading there. And now I'm going to take my blending stump or my blending tool or tortillon. I did want to show you. I want to see if I can show you. There are differences in grades of these, and I'm not. Okay, see how this is bent? This is a tortillon, and I tend to like the blending stumps more than the tortillon, but there is a brand that is fairly good, and that's this one, because with this, when it's bent like that, and I want to get into these fine details, I can't. But I will give, that's all in my materials list, and that's with the in the beginner's guide. And I'm updating that over the next week or so and adding some more of the materials that I'm recommending, like these organizational tools. So then I just take this, and actually I want to turn it, and I want to come up against, even this one's a little soft, and this paper's a little bit. So I start my shading. Shading could take this is very beginner, basic. Shading can take as long as drawing the whole tangle. I just want to give you some basic ideas to get started with, and you can see how this will start to take shape. But even this tortillon is bending at the tip, so I really need the stump with a nice point to really get fine shading in there. So we're going to go to the step 2 where we're going to draw this on the mandala, but now you have your step out after we put the name in, which is Finery, and this is day 10. And it was developed in the step out, step by step, was developed by Zentangle Inc. Okay, there we have Finery. So let's get your materials together. And we're going to start part 2, the mandala. This is the mandala Tangles template that I created for this project and challenge. And we are on day 10. And as you can see, this is where we've come. And I've kind of sketched out what I'm going to do as we jump into the studio and I show you how I draw it on the mandala. Well, not sure if not sure if I changed the if you saw that slide, but anyway, here's the mandala and this is what I'm going to draw. And I'm going to come over here with the finery, and I do want to just make sure that because I timestamp this, so I want to make sure that I see that I see the part 2, so I can give you the timestamp of when we are just working on the mandala, because some people are following that part of the video. So let me turn this to a way that I can draw the so I can draw this. I'm going to take my own pen and I'm going to start. There we go. Coming along. Just remember to try and get it parallel to those walls there, because that will give the illusion of space. And then so I hope that you have enjoyed this demonstration, and that you that the step out has helped you to understand how to draw this pattern. You can refer back to these videos. You can get the beginner's guide if you haven't already, and you can draw along with me. Now, I'm not quite sure. There's always some embellishment that I like to get my the way I work creatively is I like to get the pattern drawn, and then I like to step away. I don't typically finish beginning to end. I like to let it sit a little bit, and then I come back. So if, I typically, so you could have, a 15 or 20-minute practice, and then be able to come back and enjoy it. Again, so I have laid this in, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you to take a look at, I have a link for Barbara Langston, Not Perfect Zen. She's a great teacher, and she has different ideas. And there are Instagram, Facebook, and of course, Stephanie Jennifer, she has a guide and a group where there's, and there's this, the Zentangle app is great. So this was day 10, Finery Mandala, and tomorrow we're doing Bravensward. And this is a pretty tangle. It's and it's also fun to create. So I can't wait to come back tomorrow. Grab your beginner's guide. The link's in the description. Subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications if you want to follow me, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and joining in with me on this challenge. It's really great to have you there. Well, somebody's at the door, so I guess it's time to go.